Hello and welcome back. In this video, we're going to take a closer look at the Ultra Coupe prototype and some unique design choices. I will also share with you how we can easily build large, complex 3D parts and shapes such as car panels using the segment kit. That and so much more, so stay tuned. Hey, what is up, you beautiful people? Welcome to another video. I've been wanting to make this one for quite a long time, but my excuse is I've just been busy, as you can probably imagine. Now, I've been making YouTube for quite a long time. I do enjoy making videos. It's a fun creative process for me, but what I like the most is doing the things that I make the videos about. And when I'm in my garage welding or sanding or painting, or I'm behind the computer designing, the last thing that is on my mind is how to set up a camera this way or that way, or doing some filming. But I love making these videos like these because it gives me an opportunity to share this with you guys. Most important of all, it gives me an opportunity to learn from you guys, because from my last video, actually, I want to take this time and thank each and every one of you guys, because I've made a video detailing exactly what I was going to do, and some of you guys actually took the time out of your day to watch it, leave comments, and some of you guys actually subscribed. And I asked you guys a few questions that I needed in terms of scanners, and a lot of you guys actually answered that, so that was great. It helped me out big time. So I also wanted to make these videos because I've gotten to a point where I've done a lot of research for things that I needed to do for this project that I couldn't find answers to, but I believe that this video might actually help you guys, because if you're watching this video, chances are you're into doing crazy stuff like this in your garage. Because I mean, what is the point of time and money if you cannot do exactly what you want to do with it, right? Why make things easier for yourself in life when you can make things more complicated? Isn't that more fun? But anywho, so if you are watching my channel for the very first time, welcome. So right now we are probably in the fourth video of this project here. This is a prototype. I believe, I don't even know what to call it. I've been calling it the Ultra Coupe, so to speak. But the idea is to do, to the best of my knowledge, the world's first four-seater coupe. Now, if you haven't watched the last video, shameless plug, go ahead and watch it. It's going to make a little more sense to you why I'm saying this the world's first. So I've been working incredibly hard, and we've gotten to a point where the chassis is built on a tubular airframe, if you haven't watched the last video. And right now we've gotten to a point where we're actually starting to dress up the car, so to speak. So it gives you an idea of proportion and what it's supposed to look like. And I can actually share with you now the vision for this project and the reason behind it. As you can probably imagine, this has been really tough. It's hard building a car from scratch in your garage. But what gets me up in the morning is, one, the fact that, you know, you start with a blank canvas and you can just do whatever crazy idea you want to do. I mean, as long as it makes sense. With something like this, you have to follow the regulations. The goal is to eventually give it a VIN. You can drive it around in town to kind of get, test it out. But the goal is to eventually give it a VIN. And if you want something that is road legal, there's a few things you have to follow, which will make sense as I'm progressing more on this project. One of them, headlights has to be certain inches. You have to have wipers, low beam, light beam, you name it. The list goes on, but that's really not the point of this video. The point is just kind of share with you guys the idea behind the design, because it's starting to kind of look like a car now. So what have we done so far? So far, as you can see here, there's a lot of gaps, a lot of imperfection in the panel. Interestingly enough, the hardest thing to do, or the hardest thing so far, has actually been building and putting on the panels. We've done the framing, the welding for the chassis. We put the powertrain in there, the engine, transmission, and we actually went into brakes. As you can see, there's the brake rotors and pads are in there. We just have to tune a little bit more and do more of the wiring. We still have to do a lot of the electronics. The suspension kinematics is being figured out. We have a traditional suspension up front, and then a push rod multi-link setup in the rear. I'll explain a little bit more about that. But the the most difficult thing has actually been the panels, because to do something like this, we've used 3D printers. And as you guys know, there's not a single 3D printer out there that I know so far, unless you're spending thousands and thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands, that will print something like this, because this car is very wide, as you're about to see in the pictures. You're not going to be able to print out a bumper, so to speak. So we have to divide the parts, and I'll show you exactly how we do that. But the goal now is, now that we can see the panels and how they look, the next stage will be to, instead of actually making the panels out of 3D printer materials, I'm going to show you how I am planning on 3D printing the molds, and then utilizing something like fiberglass or carbon fiber or some sort of composites to actually create the final body panel that is going to then replace all these things that you are seeing on the video right now. So as you can see, this car is very low, which adds to the overall aesthetics of the vehicle. To give you an idea, if you have a traditional washing machine at home, just imagine this. You have 4 people are going to fit, or trying to fit, under, you know, a height of a traditional washing machine. So right next to it, for scaling, we have a F10 M5 with the competition package from factory, and those are fairly low vehicles. Is the lowest car from factory you're going to be able to find for the 5 Series. So as you can see here, this is the mirror, right? So everything, this whole car fits right under the line for the mirror right there, right? And this thing looks absolutely beautiful in person because of that. So let me see if I can find another image here. All right, so let's start from the rear, because I love the image from the rear a lot better. This is where it actually stands out a lot more. The goal, as you can see here, we are using a lot of negative space, right? So right over here, I'll show you guys from a different angle. So all this is empty space here. So right here we have the links. There's a suspension here set up. And right here, this is actually a push rod suspension. So you're not gonna see any of the part for the suspension here. All you're gonna see is this arm that's gonna go from here to here. It's gonna transfer the load, and the actually suspension is hitting under the body panel. So it gives you that idea of just openness. And then of course, this is where the CV axle will be. So the only thing you're going to see is this massive diffuser right here, and everything else is it's pretty much just open space. And if I can show you guys a different angle, what you'll see here is, so those massive tires are actually hidden right under here. And we've done some very basic simulation with the tools we have access to kind of give an idea of how air is going to travel around this car. So in this case here, we're going to have some cool air coming from the front, going right in between all the suspension parts. And this part here is, as you can see, there's a radiator right over here. So some of the air is going to go in there to actually cool the engine. So we have everything in place. The only thing we have to do now is just go back and kind of tie everything together. The engine runs, is just we're not able to run it for a long time because the cooling system is not, everything is not running just yet. So it's gonna overheat rather quickly. So, all right, so this is a much better view, and it's a fairly short car. I mean, traditionally is the same wheelbase as, you know, I would say a Corvette or an Aventador, you know, your traditional mid-engine car. So there's, in the bumper, I'll show you guys later on, air is supposed to go from here, is going to go into the bumper, and even the headlights themselves is open design, so air will go right into the headlights. And then between the wheel and the chassis itself is just suspension parts, so the air will be able to just go straight through right over here, and then some of it is going to go into the radiator, and the rest is going to go straight through the car all the way to the back. And as you can see here in this image, man, I just love that stance. So for a comparison, there's the F10 M5, and over here you can see it's a little bit wider than the 5 Series, but this is all open air over here. and then you have that diffuser here. So air comes from the front, and over here we're gonna have the tail lights, and this is where it's gonna have a center exhaust. So I believe I actually have an image of that somewhere over here. Ah, there it is. All right. So something like this. So we just have all this, the suspension part right there, and then the CV axle is going to join the transmission over here, and then we just have the diffuser that kind of holds everything together. And I do apologize, I'm not next to the car, I'm not near the car, so I'm not able to show you a lot of the stuff, but as we progress I can show you things more clearly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and now for the best part. How do we actually tackle the hardest part, which is dressing up the car, so to speak? So as you can see, this is the original design. We're not too far off, but we still have a lot of work to do. I still have a lot of work to in the modeling as well to make it a little bit better. But in this case, it starts in Fusion, right? This is a simple form. I'm going to start with the bumper and give you an idea how it works. This bumper here is absolutely massive. There's no way to print it in one go. So in this case, it starts in Fusion. All you have to do is pretty much just export as a 3MF file. It's a simple form. It doesn't have any sort of thickness. We actually add the thickness inside of SegmentKit, and I'm about to show you that how that works. So all right, so inside of SegmentKit, now all I'm gonna do is upload the bumper. So I'm gonna select my bumper. I'm gonna specify it is actually indeed in inches, not millimeters or centimeters. Upload it. It's going to upload. And right off the bat, you're going to see that it actually shows me a view. So for perspective, this is a, I believe is 8x8x8. So as you can see, if this is a traditional 3D printer that you can pick up online that does 8 inches all around, as you can see, when it divides it, you can see how massive that printer is, or how massive the bumper is. So right here in printer properties, I have it in custom, but you can, if you have one of these printers here, you can select yours. But I have one of the newer Centauri Carbon printers, so I'm going to add a conservative 9 all around, like so. All right, that's how large my printer is. Okay, so this right here is just a form. It has 0 thickness. If you zoom into it, you'll see there's actually it just tells the algorithm where the each dot is in the 3D grid. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna generate a wall, and you'll see what that means in a little bit. And I'm gonna go below. And I'm gonna execute right now. It's gonna take a little while. It's a pretty complex operation, so sometimes it takes a while. So if you have something to do, just go do it and come back. And as you can see, it will segment the parts for you so it can easily fit inside of a printer. And let me do the Explorer view here. These are all the individual pieces. So all you have to do is just play around with the settings to fit your printer, and also minimize the number of parts as well. Now the easiest part is all you have to do is just download them all and then put them straight into your extruder. So here's an example of one of the parts that I've downloaded, imported into the actual slicer. And what I like about it is it does these grids here to make your parts stronger. That way you can print them. Since these are panels, you can print them at 100% infill and not waste a lot of material, which is the challenge of when printing panels like these. And also what it does is it adds these walls that we were adding in the settings. That way, when you print another part, you can put it right next to it, and you can add some sort of any type of adhesive in there, and also use clamps to just put them together. So it's very easy to put them back together as you're assembling the whole actual bumper. And all these is customizable, so you can make these walls longer, thicker, or the grid itself you can customize it as well. So this is what I really love about this stuff right here. And now for the next stage, I realized that by just playing with the settings, what I can do instead is, instead of actually 3D printing the bumper, I'm going to then try to 3D print the mold. I'm gonna segment it in the opposite direction to where this is just a mold, and then the inside will then give me my bumper. I can use the composite way of doing it with carbon fiber or fiberglass and resin, and see if that works better. That's the goal, and where it actually retains the shape of the bumper. So there you have it, guys. I hope you had enjoyed this little update. I hope you found it entertaining, or you probably learned something new. I've learned a whole lot in this process, which is the whole goal, right? That's the beauty of it. It's frustrating at times, it's difficult at times, but you do end up learning a thing or two, things that I haven't seen being done before, which is, you know, the whole goal of this. So if this is something that you want to get more updates on, please feel free to subscribe. It will help me, motivate me to make these videos more often. As you can clearly see, between the rendering, the goal, the idea, the vision, and the actual stage that we are right now, we still have a long way to go, but we'll get there. We'll get there slowly and surely. So now, before I let you go, I do need another favor. I don't want to make it sound like I only make these videos to ask favor from you guys, but last time when I asked you guys a favor, it actually worked out really well, because on the last video, I was using a very basic 3D scanner, and I asked you guys for recommendations, and a lot of you guys took your time to leave me some comments in the videos, and I was actually able to upgrade my scanner based on your recommendations. And that's exactly what I did, to scan the tubular chassis and then made the panels with millimeters levels of precision, and that's what I'm going to keep using to go back and update and upgrade these panels with the same method that I shared with you. Now, with that being said, if you guys do know a supplier, I'm in the Central Florida area. If you do know a local supplier when it comes to carbon fiber or composite materials, I've been using different places online to buy carbon fiber that you guys seen on the video that I've been testing with, but it's actually time for me to put in a fairly large order. Of course, it's not a big order for multiple cars, just still one car, but enough to cover everything. And of course, I know I'm going to make mistakes. I know I'm going to need more to kind of, you know, go back and redo them again. So if you know a reliable supplier that is able to give you fairly good price on, you know, a fairly large order, do let me know. Leave your comments below, and I'm looking forward to that. With that being said, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Ciao.